Pentatonic Riff 1, So What, I'm a Rock Star by Pink. Needs a bit of distortion, a little bit of overdrive. Maybe a hint of pinch harmonics that sound cool, and a bit of palm damping. Now this is based from your F sharp minor pentatonic, which will sound like this. Now let's focus in on your fretting hand specifically, and let's play the riff through. The notes are grouped into sections, so it should be quite easy to read. I hope you got your PDF in front of you, and it should sound slow motion like this. Fingers 1 and 3 the whole way through. Then silence. And you want to get it quite quick. I'm just going to bring both left hand and right hand back into play again, so you can see both techniques here. Palm damping does sound cool with this one. Maybe a pinched harmonic would sound sweet as well. That's just really personal interpretation. But play along with 1, 2, 3, 4. And you do that 9 times on the introduction, but it's such a cool riff to enjoy with the pentatonic scale. Remember to get the palm damping. Midnight Blues, Pentatonic Riff number 2 by Gary Moore. It starts with a C minor chord over here, and the riff is built largely around the C minor pentatonic scale. And if you listen to the C minor pentatonic, you can actually hear the notes. Now I'm going to play through the complete Pentatonic 2 riff, and it's going to feature bars 1 and 2 played through twice in a row, then to bar 3 and 4 once, and then back to bars 1 and 2 also once, and that gives you the basic structure for Midnight Blues. It's going to sound something like this if you want to play through with 2 and 3 and 4 and... Just to focus more on what the fretting hand's doing, let's focus on fret number 8. And you'll notice we spoke about a slide, which I'm sure you picked up and heard as well. On that opening note, in other words, after you've played the chord, that's C minor, fret number 8, after you've played that, we're going to put a slide to fret 10. So we're not just going to start on 10 and do this. We're going to do a sort of a slide. This sounds quite cool. And we can do it on both 10s on each phrase, so your end result should sound something like this. And the second riff starts a string down, which is going to go, and it's got that fret 9 where we'd normally expect to go to 8, but because of the tuning of your B string to the G string, you use fret number 9 for this. And what's actually happened over there, he's actually changed to the F minor pentatonic scale, just played from a different position to follow the F minor chord, which is that chord there as well. And that's Midnight Blues. Black Knight by Deep Purple uses the E minor pentatonic scale. But interestingly enough, they don't play it from the upper position, they play it from position number 3, which I'll explain now. But we're working towards something that sounds like this. Okay, now a bit of pinched harmonics, or a hint of a pinched harmonic, sounds quite sweet if you like them. I do. And a bit of palm damping worked really, really well as well. Now, we spoke earlier about position number 3 of the E minor pentatonic. Now, normally your E minor pentatonic is over here by open fret or fret 12. I'm going to do fret open position over here. That's your normal open E minor pentatonic. And we're going to go to position number 3. So E minor, position number 1. If I started out on G, this is position 2. And then onto position 3 we need for this song. It's going to start fret 5 and fret 7, largely fingers 1 and 3 the whole way through. We're going to break out of fret over there for this one. And over here as well for position number 3, but that's a study by itself. And we're just really interested in the first 3 strings, the top 3 strings. And we're going to play it slow motion, largely fingers 1 and 3. 3 and 4 and 3 and 4 and. Now the reason I'm counting at 3 and 4 is it gives me my timing so that I make sure my gaps, my pauses between the notes are correct. Okay, one more time. 3, 2, 3, 4 and 3, 4, 3 and 4 and 3 and 4 and. Riff number 4 of the Pentatonic series, Sweet Home Alabama, Lynyrd Skynyrd. This is a cool study using the D chord, a C at 9 chord, and a G chord. And then comes the E minor pentatonic. Now I'm going to take the whole thing together so you can play it through once you can hear the overall result, what we're aiming for. It should sound like this. 2, 3, 4 and. Okay, we got that. Now let's focus on the fretting hand to see exactly what's taking place, what they're actually doing here. It's a really easy song, lots of fun to play. And starts in a D chord like we said. You're going to start striking the 4th string, double. Then you play strings 2 and 3 in succession like that. So the first chord. When you change to the C add 9, notice my 3rd finger doesn't move. So once more the transition, 3rd finger doesn't move, and then the pinky needs to come in on the bottom 1st string, fret 3. And we don't need to have it there, but if you accidentally strum it, it sounds pretty cool, so it's a nice safeguard. But the C add 9 should sound like this, 5th string bass note, and then onto G. And that's a really cool transition because all that happens is fingers 1 and 2 upper string. And then you got your E minor pentatonic. Now I want us to see how cool this scale fits into the actual chord shape itself. Check this out. E minor pentatonic. Works quite nicely. And then these notes here are the notes used inside the scale. Okay. Or inside the riff, the notes from the riff inside the scale. So if you put the whole thing together, slow motion, watch the amount of finger movement here. 2 and 3 and 4 and. And on the second time, last riff changes. And then you have Sweet Home Alabama. Pentatonic riff number 5, My Girl by the Temptations. It opens up played out of a D pentatonic. It's position number 2, but played from a different place on the fretboard. But the riff should sound like this. It's a really chilled riff. It's a nice one to get the fingers going. And with your fretting hand, you'll notice that the hand mustn't move too much. So the whole thing is about efficiency, making sure that your hand is nice and relaxed and doesn't move unnecessarily. Here you got the riff nice and slow, playing from the open D string first. Notice the 3, fret number 3, played with the middle finger. And immediately from the first bar, you have to jump up to get the G over there. And then you're back to the open D string for the 3rd bar. And you repeat for the 4th bar. Now, interestingly enough over here, if you think of the D chord that's being played by the second guitarist or Michael, you can actually hear the notes played in the riff. That's your octave for the D chord. That's part of the D chord, and you end on the D chord. So basically, you can actually hear how nice it works with the chord shape itself. Same for the G. And everything works nicely together. Pentatonic riff number 6, I Shot the Sheriff by Eric Clapton and Bob Marley. Both did a cover of it, and they were quite good mates at one time as well, just for by the way. It's built around your G minor pentatonic scale, which will take place at fret 3, and your end result should sound something like this. So it's a little bit of a stretch there for the pinky, but let's break it down and see what's actually happening. There we go. Like I said, fret number 3 for G minor pentatonic. And to get that stretch there, you'll notice my thumb isn't as high as it was for maybe some of the earlier videos. For example, for the Pink song. So we drop the thumb a bit to help get the stretch. And your riff starts off with a very quick grace note or ghost note from this fret 3 to fret 5. So you can hear it's 2 notes, but you're only plucking 1. And here comes the quick phrase where the thumb has to drop to get pinky into fret number 6. And a little bit of palm damping sounds quite cool as well. So one more time. So I like damping those 3, just personal opinion. And then after that, and that's your riff. Want to play through with me? 2 and 3 and 4 and I Shot the Sheriff. Finally, pentatonic riff number 7, Billie Jean by Michael Jackson. Pay attention and listen carefully for the palm damping. It's really important for this song. And you can do downstrokes the whole way through as well. It sounds pretty cool for this one. I'd normally suggest alternative, but there's always exceptions. Let's go. 1, 2, 3, 4 and we got that. Now let's focus in on what our fretting hand is doing. We said F sharp minor pentatonic scale, so it's basically running from here. And you can hear those notes actually work quite nicely into the scale shape by itself. We're largely using frets 1 and 3, or fingers 1 and 3 rather, frets 2 and 4. And watch how little hand movement there is in this riff over here, especially the crossover from the first 4 to the second 4. Very minimal movement. And then on the second bar, or the second half rather, we're going to start off over here. Notice the pause, very, very important, that subtle pause there. And then also watch the last 4 when it comes down to the 5th string, because that brings us back to the beginning on the 4th string in the first bar. And you've got your Billie Jean riff.